More than 50 members of the government have resigned in the past few days, and the pressure has been rising steadily. Now, Boris Johnson is probably resigning at least one of his offices. According to media reports, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson wants to announce his resignation. As the seat of government 10 Downing Street explained, the scandal-ridden Prime Minister wanted to address the nation on Thursday. It hasn't happened when I'm filming this yet. This was seen as a clear indication of Johnson's forthcoming resignation as leader of the British Conservative Party. At the latest, after the election of a successor, he would also be rid of the office of Prime Minister. A new Tory leader is determined in an election process that can take weeks or even months, depending on the number of applicants. The leader of the party that has the majority in the British Parliament is also traditionally the Prime Minister. He or she can call early elections, but does not have to. Johnson has spoken to the Queen, according to ITV. The talk was a show of courtesy in the monarch in the run-up to his forthcoming speech about his plans to step down, according to ITV Deputy Politics Editor Anushka Istana. In view of the signs of his resignation, Economics Minister Kwasi Kwarteng urged the search for a successor to be urgent. A new leader of the Conservative Party must be found as soon as possible. That's what the minister said on Twitter. In the meantime, the wheels of government must keep turning. According to the BBC, Johnson's employees had already been informed of his resignation, and his letter of resignation has been prepared. After a whole series of scandals, more than 50 ministers and other government officials resigned in protest against Johnson since Tuesday evening. And Labour leader Keir Starmer welcomed Johnson's expected resignation. It's good news, Starmer said, according to the British news agency PA. And he also added, but it should have happened a long time ago. Oh, I agree to that. Johnson is expected to remain in office until the autumn while a new party leader is elected. Critics in his own party, the number of which is large, want to prevent this and further increase the pressure on him. A former minister told The Guardian that Johnson must also resign as Prime Minister this Thursday. He has to be gone by tonight. Raab should take over. Dominic Raab is the Deputy Prime Minister. Another ex-minister also told The Guardian he has to give up his seal of office today and leave so that we can have an acting Prime Minister. The government crisis in London had worsened in the past few days. Prime Minister Boris Johnson increasingly lost support there, and even Finance Minister Nadhim Zahawi, who was appointed to his post on Tuesday, publicly called on Johnson to resign. Prime Minister, in your heart, do you know what is right? Go now. That's what Zahawi wrote in a letter to Johnson, published on Twitter. The total number of resignations from government office on Thursday morning was over 50, as I said. The previously ultra-loyal chief legal officer Suella Braverman had asked Johnson to resign on live television the night before and brought herself into play as his successor. However, she herself did not want to resign at first. According to media reports, a number of incumbent ministers visited the Prime Minister at 10 Downing Street in the evening and urged him to resign. In addition to Chancellor of the Exchequer Zahawi, Transport Minister Grant Shapps is said to have been among them. Home Secretary Priti Patel, who has been ultra-loyal to date, and Economics Minister Kwasi Kwarteng are also said to have opposed Johnson. It was expected that there would be further dismissals or resignations from this group. The evening before, a close Johnson confidant had declared that the Prime Minister would not give up. The Prime Minister is in an optimistic mood and will fight on. That's what Johnson's parliamentary assistant James Duddridge told Sky News. Johnson got to the mandate of 14 million voters in the last general election and so much to do for the country. That's what they claim still. But holding on to power hardly seems possible in view of the massive headwind. On Thursday, the BBC reported, citing government circles, of Johnson's impending resignation announcement. If necessary, British media reported, Johnson should be removed from office by a vote of no confidence. The Tory politician narrowly survived a no confidence vote in his group just a month ago. Another no confidence vote would have required a change in the internal party rules. It was initially expected that Johnson would take a chance, but on Thursday the pressure was apparently too great. The most recent government crisis in Westminster was triggered by an affair involving Johnson's party colleague Chris Pincher, who is accused of sexual harassment. It was previously revealed that Johnson knew about the allegations against Pincher before he promoted him to a key faction office. His spokesman had previously denied this several times, and in the end they had to correct themselves. The affair now turned out to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Johnson has been under massive criticism for months for illegal lockdown parties during the corona pandemic at Downing Street, the seat of government. He himself received a police warrant for attending one of the illegal gatherings, making him the first British head of government to have committed a crime or a criminal offence while in office. Nevertheless, he denied any wrongdoing for a long time. But probably minutes before, minutes after this video goes live, he hopefully will resign, although it's not so good for Scottish independence and so, but we will see. I'll see you in my next video. Viel Spaß!